Former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan's party, the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, lands in trouble as the country's election commission has issued a show cause notice to the party after it ruled that the PTI did receive prohibited funding. A three-member bench gave its verdict in a case that had been pending since November 14th from 2014 and had been filed by the PTI founding member Akbar S. Babar, who had alleged serious financial irregularities in the party's funding from abroad. The bench, headed by Chief Election Commissioner Sikandar Sultan Raja, observed that the PTI received funds from business tycoon Arif Naqvi and 34 other foreign nationals. Moreover, it had taken ownership of 8 accounts and kept 13 others hidden. The commission accused party chief Imran Khan of submitting a misdeclaration and violating the country's constitution by hiding these accounts. The poll panel has now issued a show cause notice to the PTI seeking an explanation on why these funds received shouldn't be seized. However, the PTI leaders have reportedly said that most of the money was from overseas Pakistanis, further indicating that the party doesn't intend to stop that funding. The party further claimed that the accounts that were supposedly undeclared were not directly linked to the PTI chief.
मुझे समझ नहीं आती कि PMLN, पीपल्स पार्टी, JUI इन्होंने ओवरसीज पाकिस्तानीज को अपना दुश्मन क्यों डिक्लेयर कर रखा है। हम ओवरसीज पाकिस्तानीज को पाकिस्तान की मईशत की रीढ़ की हड्डी समझते हैं और हम बता दें, हम अब भी ओवरसीज पाकिस्तानीज पर ही रिलाय करेंगे अपनी फंडिंग के लिए। वो जो अकाउंट्स 16 अकाउंट्स हैं, उनका PTI से जो था वो इमरान खान के डायरेक्ट लिंकेज में नहीं है।
In March 2018, a scrutiny committee was constituted to examine the PTI's financing. The committee submitted its report after 95 hearings in nearly 4 years. The report suggested that the PTI leadership had committed gross violations of funding laws by allowing the collection of millions of dollars and billions of rupees without any source and details from foreigners. The verdict comes at a time when Imran Khan has been making repeated calls for the Chief of Election Commission's resignation, calling him dishonest and incompetent. Upping his ante against the poll panel chief, Imran Khan on Monday issued a fresh call for protests outside the Election Commission's office in Islamabad on August 4th. For more analysis on the story, joining us live now is our Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik from Islamabad. Anas, thanks for joining us. The Pakistan poll panel says that Imran Khan's PTI party received illegal funds. What does this ruling mean for the former Pakistan Prime Minister? What lies ahead for him?
Well, Priyanka, 7 years and 7 months later since it first began, the Election Commission of Pakistan has now finally ruled, after more than 190 hearings and more than 95 meetings of the scrutiny committee, that the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, led by Imran Khan, did indeed receive prohibited funding from at least 34 individuals, that they hid at least 16 accounts before the Election Commission of Pakistan, and rather they submitted a false affidavit as well, or a false declaration was submitted as well before the Election Commission. Now what happens next is very interesting. There are two avenues. While the Election Commission of Pakistan has issued a show cause notice to the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, but it can sway into two directions. One, for submitting the wrong affidavit or misdeclaration or false declaration, the Election Commission or one of the parties can go to the Supreme Court knocking at the door that since Imran Khan lied on oath, therefore he should be disqualified under the Article 62 and 63. Now this is the same article under which former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif was disqualified. That is scenario number one. The scenario number two is what is there in the show cause notice as well, that talks about confiscation of these prohibited funds, and that is very well a probability as well. Now the government parties have been rejoicing the fact that Imran Khan's what they say foreign funding has been caught, and that he is a threat to Pakistan by and large, and that is what they say that the Election Commission has now certified. So in days ahead, it will be very interesting as to what Election Commission takes the action on. Whether somebody goes to the Supreme Court seeking Imran Khan's disqualification, that's lesser on the side of the probability, but still remains a probability. Or whether the funds will be confiscated, that's a question only time can tell. As we progress ahead, as the story unfolds, that's only we will get to know the answers to these.
Right, Anas, thanks so much for all those inputs, and thanks for joining us on WION at this hour. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.